Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about one of the number one reasons why I just need to always maintain my financial freedom. And this is just me being very, very personal and very, very blunt. But make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you are tuning in and hitting that bell notification so that you are notified every single time I drop a new video. But the reason why I always need to maintain my financial freedom is actually two reasons. So one, in in a job, I was just telling my girl this the other day. When I was working as a general manager at Wendy's, I had a GM, when I was in training, who would not show up to the job. He would just call out and have me run his store for him. Granted, I'm in training and I could obviously run a store because I've been a general manager before, but you're not necessarily learning from the general manager. You're not learning the intricacies of the day. You're just honestly fulfilling his spot and doing his duties, not really getting the nuanced things that you could probably learn in order to be the best version of yourself. And so I wasn't getting better. Now, is that enough to forego such a decent salary? Wendy's was probably the best management chain in the form of how much they paid general managers. It was the most money that I was making as a GM and has been the most money that I've made in my career at salary wise. Now, I've tied that in other things with bonuses and things like that, but the most money that I've made salary wise was as a GM at Wendy's. So, common sense would say, hey, Festus, you should just stay there. You should just continue to work. And whether the other GM shows up or not, or whether he teaches you anything or not, it's okay. Just keep your mouth shut. Work, work, work. Eventually, you'll get your own store. And, you'll keep on the grind until you can't grind anymore. Because we all know it's a hard grind, 4 a.m. to 4 p.m., sometimes longer if people call out. And so you can be working for long periods of times, almost all day long, on your feet, flipping burgers, flipping patties, talking to customers, and running around doing whatever you can to keep the business afloat. But because I have financial freedom, because I have financial independence, I did not accept being stagnant, not only financially, but being stagnant mentally and through the education that I should have been receiving. And so I voiced my concerns to upper management that I'm essentially training myself because I don't have a GM on the floor who's supposed to be training me. My training general manager is not training me. And of course, the DM, the district manager, is probably not accustomed to hearing people complain about other general managers. And the reason for that is because those people most likely need a job. They're just starting a new job. And, complaining would set off a red flag or alarm. So they just deal with it. They just smile. They just say whatever they need to say in order to be a happy camper. And they're taken advantage of. Now, I will say that I wasn't really being taken advantage of just because someone didn't show up to work. I'm an expert at my job. They felt comfortable not showing up because they knew that I could handle the job. And that is perfectly fine as long as they would let me know. And that's exactly what I told them. But, people have egos. And because of that, the GM decided that he would not let me know. He would not let me know when he's going to call out. He would not let me know when he wasn't showing up. He would not let me know. So I would just show up to work, not knowing whether or not the training general manager would be there. And I felt completely disrespected. I thought that me coming to that person as a man would give them the respect that I wanted to at least inform me whether or not they were going to show up or not. And they could not do that for me. They could not respect me. And because of that, eventually I was let go because I wasn't going to show up to a job and be the person that he needed when he couldn't be that for me. As a general manager to another general manager, I just felt that was very disrespectful. And I also felt that there was no accountability on his part. And because of his tenure, because of all that he has already done for the company, I knew that there would not be any recourse. But at the same time, I was okay with being the crash dummy for this, because if I can shed some light on a situation, all things done in the dark will eventually come to the light. And so I was just the first stone in showing what darkness lied within that company. Another reason why I maintain my financial freedom is because I am house hacking currently. I'm actually about to come up on 2 years of owning my primary residence, and almost 3 years on my other property. Sorry, and I pride myself on saying that I've probably never paid 2 full mortgages for the 2 properties that I own. I probably never paid 2 full mortgages combined on both of the properties that I own. And I'm about to come up on 2 years of owning my primary, which I love a lot, and then 3 years on my other property as well, which is a very beautiful property, even more beautiful than the primary, but just not in the best neighborhood as the primary. And as I was house hacking, for all of you who don't know what house hacking is when you may have a roommate, or maybe you have a duplex and you rent out one side and you live on the other. This significantly will offset some of the cost of home ownership. Now, for me personally, it not only offsets the cost of home ownership, but it kind of pays a little bit of maybe the taxes or a little bit of the utilities, but it doesn't cover all the utilities. And so as taxes are about to go up, it will cover less, but it will still cover the whole mortgage. So that's what I'm super excited about. But I had a tenant recently who just maybe didn't understand how people talk via text. And a lot of the times text can be misconstrued. But that tenant had a problem with me needing a lease signed prior to 5 days left within the month. And so he was saying things like, you acting like I'm trying to live for free, or you acting like I'm not going to sign it. You acting like I didn't tell you I was going to sign it on Friday. And that verbiage that was used, although it probably wasn't to be disrespectful, I took it that way, because you're not going to tell me how I'm acting, or when you are going to do something, when this is my business and I'm going to run it how I want to run it. So eventually I just told this person to find another place to live and find another place to be, because you are requiring my resources and not the other way around. So when I went and looked for a new renter, that's exactly what I did. Found one who was much more nicer, much more compatible, and wanted a longer lease and a longer term. So just like any business who lets go of employees, I have to also look at my own life, my own circumstances, my own peace. And I have to say that I value that more than someone giving me a few $100s a month, because not only can I get that elsewhere, but I don't have to put up with additional stressors or people taking me out of the person that I want to be mentally and emotionally. So when I can say no to tenants, when I can say no to jobs, I just understand that I am now in a financially free place, to where I am not in a position to where I need to find someone to do something, or I need to find a job to do this and that. No, I can absolutely just live my life carefree and do whatever I want to do, because I have put myself in a position to where I don't depend on one thing or one circumstance. I don't depend on one person for income. I don't depend on one job for income. And so it's a very, very relieving, very, very fulfilling position to be in, but I have to work very, very hard to get there in the first place. So again, why should you want financial freedom? Is different for everybody, but for me, it was the ability to just continue to be honest. Not just honest with myself, but honest with the people that surround me, honest with the people that I'm employed to, honest to the people who live with me. Honest, honest, honest. I love honesty. I believe in order to be a person of your word, you have to maintain that. And that's all you truly have in the world when you're gone is your honesty, is your word. And so in order to maintain my word, I didn't want anything to be holding me back. I didn't want anything to be censoring me. And because of that, I needed to reach financial freedom. I needed to have the ability to say no. I needed the ability to not be taken advantage of. When I bought my first couple of properties, I was being taken advantage of by my jobs. I had to work extra hard, extra hours, and I was on salary, so I wasn't getting paid anything extra for it. But I knew that I needed this job in order to get the investments that I wanted. I slaved away. I worked super hard. I didn't have days off. I worked 7 days a week for $53,000 a year. No bonuses, nothing. I had to eat the food that was provided to me there. I didn't have time to go and get groceries. But it all paid off to where I would never take a job like that again. I would never be subject to those hours again. I would never have someone tell me that if I don't show up, that I'm going to be fired. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not after doing 6 days straight. Absolutely not. I would not go back to that again. And so I'm super, 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 super proud of where I am today. But understand that that only came with hard work. Understand that that only came with perseverance and really having that focused mindset. Sometimes I wouldn't say that everyone has to slave in order to get to a point where you no longer slave ever again. But I was at a point where I had to sacrifice my life for about 2 years in order to be where I am today. I couldn't do nothing, couldn't go out, couldn't hang out, couldn't buy nothing, couldn't. Entertainment was the last thing on my mind. In fact, sleep, a day off, was the most exciting thing that I could even think about. And I couldn't even get that because I always knew that I would receive a call. And it was even scary just knowing that I would receive a call and that I could not have the ringer on. Now, every single day when it's time for me to go to sleep, I turn on Do Not Disturb on my phone, and that's it. Can you imagine that? Going from never, ever being able to turn the ringer off of your phone to every single day, I put on Do Not Disturb for a couple of hours every single night. It's an amazing feeling. It's an amazing thing to know that peace is in my life. Peace is in my life. Order has been restored. But it took a little bit of grinding. It took a little bit of extra time to get there. It's a long journey, but you can get there too. And depending on what you really want out of life is why you should be aiming for whatever it is that you're aiming for. But I know financial freedom is going to be the vocal point in that. One of my friends wants financial freedom just so that they can travel. And that's a great reason to want financial freedom. Whatever your reason is, go after it and go and get it. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and Rumble, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.